What is up, amigos? Hope you're doing awesome. I didn't plan on making this video, but when I saw what's happening in the Telugu film industry right now, with theatre owners threatening a complete shutdown, producers scrambling, and government officials stepping in, I couldn't ignore it anymore. Because this isn't just one industry's crisis, it's a warning sign for the entire Indian film ecosystem. Theatres are bleeding money, producers are collapsing under inflated costs, star salaries are hitting the roof, and the worst part, nobody wants to talk about it openly. This situation in Tollywood, where theatre owners almost shut down the operation starting June 1st, isn't an isolated event, it's the result of years of unsustainable practices, outdated revenue models, sky-high actor fees, and a stubborn belief that celebrity alone can save a sinking ship. So I decided to dig deeper, to look at the bigger picture, and not just in Telugu cinema, but across Bollywood, Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, other regional industries, because the truth is, this is a nationwide problem, and if we don't face it now, we're heading towards a full-blown collapse of our theatrical ecosystem. So today's video is not a rant, it's not a roast, it's a reality check. Let's understand how we got here, what's broken in the system, and what could possibly save it, if anything can. So let's start with what's happening right now in the Telugu film industry, because that's where the latest fire started. As of June 2025, theatre owners in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana have openly spoken out against the outdated minimum guarantee model. They pay a fixed rent to the producers no matter how the movie performs. This means that even if the hall is empty, the rent is still due, and this model is bleeding them dry. And to make things worse, big stars continue to demand crores in remuneration, 50 crores, 75 crores, sometimes even 100 crores per film. Now imagine this, only 3 Telugu films in 2025 have actually become hits so far, yet the salaries remain high. Theatre owners threatened a shutdown from June 1st. The government had to intervene to stop the bandh. And while the shutdown didn't happen, it has forced the industry into much needed conversations. But here's the catch, this isn't just about Tollywood. This problem exists in Bollywood, Kollywood, Sandalwood, Bollywood, across every film industry in the country. So how did we get here? The first root of the problem is inflated star salaries. The logic goes like this. If a star demands 75 crore and the movie makes 100 crores at the box office, then only 25 crores is left for everything else. Production, marketing, profit and theatre share. That is not a viable model. In fact, it's a ticking time bomb. This inflated cost structure puts unbearable pressure on producers. Many of them are forced to sell the films right at high prices just to break even before the release. Theatres, especially single screens, are burdened with high rents and low shares from ticket sales. The producer might recover money, but the exhibitor is left with empty halls and losses. And while multiplexes survive on food, beverages, and other revenue streams, single screens, especially in the small towns, depend entirely on ticket sales. So when the film fails, entire ecosystem collapses. Projectionists, ticket clerks, canteen workers, thousands of livelihoods are affected. The second route is the outdated revenue sharing model. Multiplexes take a larger cut, up to 50% of the ticket revenue. But single screens work on rent-based models, where the distributors charge a fixed amount for the film. If the movie flops, the theatre owner loses. And in today's unpredictable market, many films flop. Now add OTT platforms into this mix. After the pandemic, audiences got used to watching films at home. Many movies that might have worked in theatres just 5 years ago are now struggling to bring people to cinema halls. To counter this, the industry made a terrible mistake. They started relying heavily on star power and pre-release hype. Huge trailers, over-the-top marketing, fancy songs, anything to grab attention. But what they didn't fix was the content, and what they didn't anticipate what the audience had changed. They now expect more for their money. Stars can no longer carry a film entirely on their shoulders unless the story is strong. But the industry kept pretending it was 2010. And when that illusion broke, so did the business model. Now across India, most film industries function like family-run empires. In Tollywood, for instance, the Allu Konidala family, Akkineni Dagguvati family, Nandamuri family and Ghatamaneni family dominate the industry. Similarly, Bollywood has the Kapoors, Bhatts, Johars and more. These families control production houses, distribution networks, networks and casting decisions, and often their members are the ones who get paid high fees, even when the film has no strong script or commercial potential. It's a closely knit circle where talent often takes a backseat and personal relationships drive the decisions. This contributes further to inflated costs and audience dissatisfaction. It's not just about nepotism, it's about control. When the same names keep showing up regardless of box office performances, the market becomes saturated. Audiences start tuning out, and producers, in their chase for a safe bet, ironically end up making riskier financial decisions. Now, this isn't a one-size-fits-all crisis. In Bollywood, the rot is deeper in terms of overpaid stars and urban-centric content that alienates the masses. Theaters are also more expensive and face stiff competition from OTT. In the Tamil industry, the salaries are slightly more grounded, but even here, a handful of actors dominate the scene and ask for massive fees. The same issue of OTT competition and poor theatrical runs exists. Malayalam cinema, on the other hand, has always been content-driven, but now even it faces pressure. Big actors like Mohanlal or Mammootty get good salaries but not insane ones. Yet, when their films flop, even they go straight to OTT, and this is changing how people consume Malayalam cinema too. In Kannada cinema, especially post-KGF, there's now pressure to make everything pan-India. That means bigger budgets, more VFX, and yes, higher star fees. But the risk is that not every film can match the magic of KGF. If they chase scale over story, they'll hit the same wall as Bollywood. One of the biggest problems is that stars rarely take responsibility for a film's failure. They take their full fee and move on. The producer suffers, the distributor bleeds, and the theater shuts down. Very rarely do actors return their fees. One recent example was Telugu actor Sidhu Jonalgadda, who reportedly returned 4 crores after Jack, his film, failed. But this is just an exception, not the norm. If stars want to continue demanding massive fees, they must also be willing to share the risk. Either they take a profit share model or reduce upfront payments. When a film's potential is uncertain, without accountability, the entire financial structure collapses. So what are the solutions? Now, this crisis didn't appear overnight, so it won't go away easily either. But there are clear, actionable solutions the industry can look at. First, the revenue sharing model needs to change, especially for single screens. There must be a more equitable split between producers and exhibitors. Fixed rent system should be replaced by percentage-based sharing to reduce the risk on theater owners. Second, star salaries need to be regulated. I can't say this enough. This doesn't mean banning high fees, but fees must be tied to film budgets and realistic market potential. A 50 crore film cannot afford a 40 crore actor, period. Third, OTT release windows must be extended. A movie should not appear on streaming within 2 weeks of theatrical release. This trains the audiences to wait rather than go to cinemas. A 6 to 8 window is healthier for the industry. Fourth, the producers must invest in content, not just names. If the script is strong, even newcomers can deliver blockbusters. Examples are plenty. Kill in Hindi, Mad in Telugu, Love Today in Tamil, Sairat in Marathi, Marco in Malayalam, though Unni is not a newcomer per se, but yet you get the point. And finally, actors and directors need to come together to form a sustainability pact, much like how Hollywood writers and actors struck deals to protect fair wages and credits. Indian cinema needs to have its own roundtable discussions. The Indian audiences, they're hungry for good stories. They're willing to pay for cinema, just not for mediocrity. The moment the industry understands this and stops hiding behind trailers, item songs, and celebrity worship, there is hope. Now, this isn't about killing stardom. It's about making stardom responsible and accountable. If you want to be paid like a king, deliver like one. Otherwise, make room for new talent and fresh voices. There's plenty of it waiting just outside the gate. Because at the end of the day, cinema is a shared experience. When theaters bleed and producers collapse, the whole ecosystem suffers. It's time to rebuild, not with vanity, but with vision. If you've stayed with me till now, I know you love cinema as much as I do. And like you, I want to see it thrive. Not just in flashy openings, but in long-term sustainability. Let's keep having these conversations. Let's hold our stars accountable and let's demand better because we deserve it. Don't forget to like this video if you found it useful, share it with fellow cinema lovers, and subscribe for more honest takes, reviews, and breakdowns from the world of Indian cinema. Thank you for watching today. This is maddyP signing off. Take care, stay awesome. Bye-bye.